Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Sunday, December the 8th, 2024, and it's fight day. Just excuse my voice, by the way. I've picked up a little bit of what Tara had. Not bad or anything, but just a slight head cold, just a bit of a nuisance value, but I'll live. This weather, get out in the weather, that'll solve it. You don't need to pop pills and all that sort of stuff. Get out and treat your body and it'll come good. Anyway, so Liam Paro, vs.Hitchins. Should be a really good fight today. As I said yesterday, look, I think it is an extremely tough fight for Liam Paro. I think he does get the job done, but it's going to be close, I think. I think I said yesterday, he probably needs to just get out of his normal style and maybe put a little bit more heat on Hitchins. Hitchins, like a lot of these type of fighters, likes his space and his room to punch and room to do his thing and when to attack and when to rest, all that sort of stuff. And that's what Liam Paro needs to do, is when he's doing that sort of stuff, trying to rest, he needs to be on him and making him work hard. But look, it's a fascinating fight. It's on DAZN, I think at 11 o'clock this morning. I think that's what it was, even 11 or 12, whatever it was. I think it's 11. So yeah, looking forward to that fight today, and just another day of pretty much doing nothing. I did that yesterday. I actually went for a swim, which was good yesterday, which has probably contributed to what I've got now. But anyway, so that's what I'll be doing today, with the feet up, probably like a lot of you guys and girls out there watching a good day of fights. The other fight that's actually on today that I didn't actually mention yesterday is the Oscar Valdez-Emmanuel Navarrete rematch. Now, I forgot all about that. Hasn't been a hell of a lot of news about that, or it's sort of been hidden a lot in a lot of the other stuff. So much going on at the moment. But yeah, that rematch is on today, and that's a fascinating one as well. I actually thought Valdez would have won the first fight, but he was actually pretty much dominated by Navarrete, who fought a great fight. But then in his last fight against Bolchuk, he looked shocking. He was totally outboxed, just outfought. It was pretty one-sided decision in the end. Obviously the benefit this time is that he's not fighting Bolchuk, he's fighting Valdez, who's pretty much custom made for him, the typical Mexican style, up close, ripping, hooking, uppercutting, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, look, I'm sort of hoping Valdez can get the job done. I really like Oscar. I've met him in the past and he's a really nice guy, and I just think he's a good fighter. And I'd like to see him just get this one more win, just to maybe round out his career, because he's got to be coming to the end of it. He looked pretty good earlier in the year against Liam Wilson. He had his moments early, did Liam, but I thought that Valdez really responded very well. No, Liam pretty much, well, let's just say made it a lot easier for Oscar, because he got in the trenches and went to war with him, which is something you do not do against a Mexican puncher. You just don't do it. He almost pulled it off against Navarrete though, didn't he, Liam Wilson? And we all know what happened with that. But yeah, so it's on ESPN now. I'm not sure whether it's on in Australia. I've checked the guides and I can't find it. So I'll be tuning in anyway at I'll have it on the other channel all day just to see whether it does come on. But I really hope it is on and have both fights going at the same time. So I think if it is going to be on, well, it's probably going to be on around the same time as the Liam Paro and Vs.Hitchins fight. So another big day of boxing, and isn't it great this time of year to still have so much to look forward to? What is it, the 8th of December today? We've got these two fights. We've still got Usyk and Fury. We've got Sam Goodman coming up. We've got the No Limit show. So there's a fair bit happening to round out the year, and I'm just really excited that at the moment it's just boxing. You know, it's just never. I don't think it's been this good. Well, since probably the early 2000s. Maybe I've got that wrong, but I just think, and credit goes obviously to Turkey Al Sheikh and all his partners, but not just him. It's just like here in Australia, so many fight nights. You know, we've got the other one coming up too, the Conor Wallace fight as well. That's next week as well. So we'll be doing live watch-alongs on those, by the way. But it just seems like boxing is just riding high on such a wave at the moment. So many fights. It's just really a struggle to keep up with, and it's an actual. Look, it's a you know, you've hit the jackpot if you're a social media creator or influencer, whatever you might want to say. you know, to have so much content to talk about. You've just got to get on YouTube and that at the moment to see the amount of shows on there. It's just amazing, and it's hard to sort of to watch them all. I don't know how people do it, you know, with jobs and families and all that sort of stuff. It's always probing or going over the YouTube channel. So anyway, we'll see how we go today with that one. All the best to Liam Paro over there. Now that fight with Liam Paro is actually the 18th fight this year to feature an Australian boxer. How good is that? And we've still got 2 to go. We've got the girls next week, Desley Robinson and Kay Scott. They're going to fight for the IBF female middleweight title. And then we've got Sam Goodman fighting for the Undisputed on Christmas Eve. So to think that we're going to round out the year with 20 fighters, well, not 20 fighters, 20 fights involving Australian boxing. I think the fighter with the most is Sky Nicholson. I think she had 3. And from memory, I think it was Tim Zhu, Jai Pataya, Jason Maloney, excuse me, all had 2, and there's a few others as well off the top of my head. But that's just an unbelievable result for Australian boxing to have 20 fights featuring an Aussie. So again, all the best to Liam today. Now, one thing I didn't mention yesterday, and I forgot all about it, was the passing of the legendary Israel Vazquez. Look, a lot of maybe sort of casual boxing fans or maybe fight fans who haven't been around for a while might not know a lot about Israel Vazquez, but he was a great champion, 2-time world champion. Unfortunately died at 46 years of age last week of cancer, so you just hate to see it. And I actually had the benefit, or the luck, or whatever you might want to call it, of actually seeing Israel Vazquez fight back in 2007. Now, the fight was against Rafael Marquez. Now, if you remember those fights, they fought 4 times. And I can't remember which one I went to, but it was at the StubHub Centre in LA. It was 2007, so I think it might have been the 3rd fight. I can't remember. But it was the one where Marquez won the fight. I think Vazquez had the broken nose and had to retire in his corner, and he was training with Justin Fortune and the Aussie. So, but the fight, just an unbelievable fight on the night. All the fights were the same, just legendary fights. I mean, we always talk about Mickey Ward and Churro Gaddy, but when you've got these 2 guys as well, I don't think they're obviously maybe just a little bit below the Ward Gaddy fights, but yeah, Vazquez and Marquez just great fights, along with a lot of others out there as well. But there's one thing about the night that I do remember, and that is, I think I've spoken about this before on Talking Boxing, but if you haven't heard the story, I'll tell you again. I was there just with a couple of friends. We were just in LA for a holiday and checked I think I was just reading the paper or something come up, and I saw that there was the fight night at StubHub Centre, and at that stage I probably wasn't too involved in boxing. I was pretty much head down, bum up in my business and everything, and didn't really take much notice. I thought, oh well, it's boxing on, we'll go to the boxing. And as I said, I didn't really know too much about the guys. Knew of them, but you know, put me in the casual category of that, or the part-time fan at that stage. But on the undercard, Vic Darchinyan fought. And I can't remember who he fought, but it was a little Mexican fighter, and Vic Darchinyan absolutely monstered this guy, or monstered, sorry, I get in trouble for saying monster, monstered this guy and knocked him out in the 10th round. He was carried out in the stretcher. It wasn't really good, actually, because Vic Darchinyan, if you remember back then, was just a wrecking ball. So he's knocked out this young Mexican guy. Actually, I don't know whether he was young, but he was a Mexican fighter, and he got carried out, and they were doing an interview with Darchinyan outside the ring, and someone in the crowd, which is a predominantly Mexican crowd. If you go to the fights over there that night with that fight, probably 90% of the crowd would have been Mexican. And Vic Darchinyan is getting interviewed, and someone from the crowd has thrown a plastic bottle at Vic Darchinyan. And these Armenians, these are crazy. Now, he did not have 1 second's thought, him and his team. There was probably there might have been about half a dozen of them, of his Armenian friends. I remember Billy Hussein was there. I remember talking to Billy on the night, and if you've met him, he's just a lovely, quiet guy, and he would have been horrified what was going on. But these Vic, I don't think actually Vic did it. I think they might have rushed him into the change room, but his followers, 6, 7 of them, whatever it might have been, jumped into the crowd and were punching on with the Mexicans. Just crazy. And it was just on, there was cops everywhere, and we were all hiding under our seats. It was nuts. and you know, that's the Armenian culture, isn't it? 6 against about 1,000, but they went up there, and I think it was broken up pretty quick. But yeah, I just remember that like it was yesterday. And as I said, having a good talk to Billy Hussein on the night, and I think at the time Hussey and Skinny might have been doing some good things as well. I can't remember, 2007 anyway, but I remember that. And as I said, Israel Vazquez is just a great champion, fought the main event that night, and he will be missed. And it's always a shame when you lose great fighters, isn't it? But that's life. Another thing I didn't mention yesterday, I forgot all about, was the Hall of Fame. Now, the 2025 inductees have been announced, and not surprisingly, Manny Pacquiao leads the list of inductees, but also my favourite fighter, well, international fighter, has got a gig as well, and that is the Pazman, Vinny Pazienza. What are you doing there, bud? And I think the other one was Michael Nunn. Now, obviously no surprise with Manny Pacquiao. He's just going to go straight in like Floyd Mayweather did, like Canelo Alvarez will do, Oscar De La Hoya, all those sort of guys did. And what a champion Manny Pacquiao was. He was actually at the fights in Dubai over the weekend and looked really good. I hope he shelved plans to compete. I think maybe, I'm not sure how it works. You've got to be out of the ring for 5 years to be nominated. So I'm not sure whether you can actually go into the Hall of Fame, and I'm not sure what happens if you start fighting again. I'm assuming nothing, but you've got to wait 5 years after your last fight to be considered, and that was of course against Ugas back in 2019. So just a legendary fighter, Manny Pacquiao, excuse me, just the obvious choice to go in there. And as I said, Vinny Pazienza, I've had the pleasure of meeting him probably 3 times, and just a great guy, great fighter. And I just used to love the what do you call it, the attitude and the personality and the aura that Vinny Pazienza gave off. And who can forget the movie Bleed for This as well, about his comeback from his broken neck, and just a machine. And I think, again, I've said on here a couple of times that I met him for the first time with my wife, Tara, at the fights at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas. He was there with some friends, and she pretty much forced me to go say hello, because it's not really my thing. I'm not really the one that'll go and harass people and ask for photos and stuff, but she's like, you might not get this opportunity again, you got to do it. So I went over and tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around, and the way he gave me a look, I'm thinking, geez, this guy's going to tell me to piss off here, because I look in his eyes. But he was such a great guy. Shook my hand, took some photos, and I think the next couple of times I saw him were at the Box Expo in Las Vegas as well. Just an awesome experience over there as well. They have like all the great fighters of the years. You can get photos with them. They have an amateur fight show on, a fight card on as well, and you can buy memorabilia, and just a really great excuse me, sorry, a really great day. And I've met so many great fighters there, and yeah, he was fantastic. So congratulations to all concerned. Now, the one that did surprise me was Michael Nunn, and I'm glad they've gone with Michael Nunn, because he did actually spend quite a few years in prison. Now, I can't remember, I think it might have been drug charges. Normally, sometimes in these situations, the whole political correctness comes in, and they might not let someone like Michael Nunn in. I'm really glad that they put all that aside and said, no, okay, his indiscretions outside the ring are one thing, but this guy is a legend of a fighter, and he was the IBF middleweight champion. I remember he beat Frank Tate, had a few defences, and I think James Toney was the one that knocked him out to take his world title. But he was a great champion back in the day, Michael Nunn, and I'm glad that he's sort of got his life back on track anyway, because he did spend those few years in prison. So now, what else was it I was going to talk about today? I think that was it from memory. What was it? I think that's about it. I think, what do we have? We had the Hall of Fame. We've had the fights today. We've had Israel Vazquez. I think that might be it, guys. I mean, I covered a fair bit yesterday, didn't I? So apologies, I've sort of gone off track there. I'm still a little bit fuzzy from the trip, actually, and now having this head cold. But guys, I think that'll do it for today. Have a great day watching the fights. Again, it starts at about 11 o'clock, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.